Hey friends, I want to talk about a question that I've had my whole life. Something I've been asking myself and my heart and other people and books and spiritual teachers, God. Something I've just asked and asked and asked, which a lot of people don't talk about, but I think most people are curious about, which is, what are we doing here? Why is there a universe at all? And what are we supposed to do with our lives? I've had this question in my heart in different forms for as long as I can remember. I've wanted to know what the universe it is, why it exists, and what I'm supposed to do with that information for my own life. It really mattered to me, and this is one of those questions that when you're a kid, I don't have any specific memories of this, but my sense is adults don't know what to do with that question, and they don't necessarily have an answer of their own, and they get uncomfortable and maybe change the topic or ask you what you think, or, just give some kind of platitude. And I really wanted to know, and I wanted to know what the universe is and why it exists so that I could know how to live my life. And I don't remember really receiving a satisfactory answer to that anywhere that I looked as a kid. And I had to kind of go in search of my own answer to this, which most of us have to do in our own ways, whether it's with that question or whatever question is on our heart. I know many of my friends have questions in their hearts that are motivating them. Those questions can look very different, but this was mine, was what is the universe? Why are we here? How do I live this life? How do I live a good life? What does a good life look like for me? And that felt very connected to the question of what is the universe? As a brief aside, I have this tweet about how there are three forms of humor. There's jump scare horror, there's human nature horror, and there's cosmic horror. And I remember starting to discover this when I read Kafka's The Trial, and just being horrified by the book. And I won't go into too many details, but this is sort of spoiler to some extent, so you can fast forward a minute or so if you haven't read the book yet and don't want it spoiled. But basically, from the perspective of that book, you're alive and you really want to know the answer to this question: what is the universe? Why are we here? And you meet all kinds of different people who have an answer to this, and they're even compelling answers, like, oh, this is what we're doing, except those answers don't fit together. They're completely incompatible, and you don't really know what's right. You don't really have a way to prove who's right, and then you die, and that's it. That was horrifying to me. That sense of the universe, that you really want to know the answer to this question. You can find answers to it, but not an answer, not the answer, and then you die. And you're just dissatisfied. And that may be the status quo. Kafka makes kind of a compelling argument in the form of a novel that that's the status quo, and maybe you can choose to believe that. But for myself, I have found an answer that satisfies me, and so I want to share it and talk about it. Maybe it will be interesting to you. If this question is really burning in your heart, it may not be satisfying, but I can at least talk about the answer that I've found that's motivated me and been clarifying for me. There isn't really one word that means the thing that I think the universe is, but if you imagine kind of a 3D shape that has multiple sides, and each of those sides is different, but there's one thing there, I think that this is a good metaphor for how I'm going to describe the universe, where I'll say three different words or three different activities that I think we're here to do, and it's sort of each and all of these are different facets of the same thing, which is the universe is a playground, and it's a school, and it's a gift. it's a playground, it's a school, and a gift. And those are three things, and it's one thing, and there's sort of three different activities that we're here to do, which is we're here to just play and enjoy, right? That's the playground aspect. We're here to play and enjoy. We've been given this beautiful gift of being alive, and there's so many joyful, interesting, pleasurable, delightful experiences we can have, and just like a gift, we can enjoy that and benefit from it and just really savor it. Oh man, wow, I get to be alive, and I get to eat delicious food and go to beautiful places and meet incredible people and do things that excite me, that I enjoy, and we can just celebrate the things that we get to experience from being here that are beautiful and enjoyable and pleasurable. And it's okay to enjoy that. That's one of the fundamental things here, is it's okay to enjoy the pleasant aspects of life, to play in those ways, to celebrate that. Just that is already a good thing to do. Witnessing a beautiful flower and smelling it and just, wow, there's a flower and it smells beautiful and it looks beautiful, and I get to just enjoy that and savor it. That is itself already good. That's the first thing. We're here to play and enjoy. The second is this aspect of a school, and I think we are here to learn and grow, where there are various lessons, spiritual lessons, that we can learn through the circumstances of our lives, and we're here to internalize those. And the more you have this sense of, oh yeah, I'm here to learn, then whatever experiences are happening in your life, they seem good, they seem bad, they're pleasant, they're unpleasant, you can at the very least ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? No matter how challenging it is, because you're going to have that experience anyway, right? Whatever it is, even if it's extremely challenging, you might as well learn and grow from it, right? You might as well make use of it. And that's easy to say, but often in the moment it can be hard to do that, or we forget, or people just don't have this sense of, it seems like we're a victim, that this thing is happening to us and it's just arbitrary and meaningless and senseless. But if you look at it from the perspective of, oh, there are things I can learn here, there are ways I can benefit from this, then that's an opportunity to grow, and we actually make use of that experience. And often really difficult experiences are loud signals of lessons that we need to learn, that maybe we had the opportunity to learn earlier in our life, but we didn't catch those signals, so they just get louder and louder until we actually do learn it. So we can learn and grow through our life. There's this great post from Derek Sivers that I love about speed limits. I forget the title of it, but the URL is Sivers, his website, /Kimo, I think, because of this music teacher that he had at Berkeley, Kimo, and Kimo, and he just says speed limits are fake. They're not real. There are no speed limits. And he learned this lesson in the context of music theory and learning music, and then applied it elsewhere. But this is true on a fundamental level, that we can just learn and learn and learn very quickly. And if you go through every day of your life with this approach of, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Then we can absorb a huge number of lessons at a very, very rapid rate, actually. There's no speed limits on how fast you can learn. There's no speed limits on how fast you can grow. And you get to choose how fast you want to learn. And just knowing that the universe is a kind of school where we get to learn lessons, or seeing it that way, can accelerate the rate at which we learn and grow. So that's the second aspect, is that we're here to learn and grow. And then the third aspect I talked about as a gift, which there's not quite a word that I've found in English that indicates what this, I might also say service project, but we're here to serve. We're here to help others. We're here to benefit the world. There's something in our hearts that we have to give. That's a quality or an essence or an idea or some circumstance. And this is sort of emergent from our connection to ourselves and the world. But we're here to help others. We're here to be of benefit. We're here to serve. And this frame is also so useful. There's always so many people that need our help. Things that we can do to help others that are of benefit. sometimes it's really simple and straightforward, like just giving someone food or giving them reassurance or giving them a hug. And sometimes it's something very idiosyncratic and particular to us. It's unique to us. There's something we look around and we see nobody seems to really notice this. Nobody seems to really care about this, and yet there's a problem. And that's the thing that we should definitely solve. Of course, help others in all the ways that you feel called to, the typical ways that you see other people doing. But if there's some special way that you see some problem that no one else is really addressing, that's invaluable. And you have something to contribute there where you can say, hey, I see this problem and this potential solution, and you may not understand it yet. You may not see it. You may not believe me, but I see it. And I'm going to stand for fixing this. I'm going to stand for solving this problem, and I'm going to do it. And then you roll up your sleeves and you do it. And once you have acted on it, once you have followed through with that intuition, then people understand. And then people are so grateful. They're like, wow, I had no idea we needed this, but we really needed this. We had no idea that this was a problem that we were experiencing, but you're so right. That was a problem. We're so glad you did that. So these are sort of three different facets or sides of the same thing that the universe is. It's this beautiful, beautiful experience that we get to enjoy. It's the school that we get to learn and grow from. And it's a chance to be of service, to benefit others, to help. And if we are doing those things, if we're being kind and not harming others, if we're enjoying our present experience, whatever it is, whatever's pleasurable about it, feeling grateful for that, if we're taking every opportunity to learn and grow from our experiences, to internalize the lessons that life is offering us, and then we use everything we have to be of service to others, to help them, to benefit the world, then that is a good life. That's a life well lived. That's the answer that I've found to this question of what the universe is. It's one that satisfies me. It's one that pleases me because it brings joy into my life. I get a chance to grow and learn, and it's rewarding to help others and be of benefit also. And they feed into each other. The more we do one, the more the other is available also. So this may or may not be the answer to what the universe is. I have no way of proving that. I don't have any certain knowledge. It also may or may not be satisfying to you in particular, and I would invite you to find your own answer to this question if it's one that burns in your heart. But it's the one that I've found, it's the one that I live by, and it's brought me a great deal of joy and clarity. It's, even though it's taken a few minutes to explain this, it's actually quite simple, because any day where I've been kind, any day where I've enjoyed my life, any day where I've learned lessons, any day where I've helped someone else, that's a good day. And a beautiful life, an excellent life is made up of days well lived. That's so easy to forget, but today is the day that we get to live a good life. Today is the day that we get to live a beautiful, excellent, noble life. And if it's one that we're proud of today, then it's much more likely that we're going to reach our deathbeds being proud of who we were, being proud of how we spent this time on this earth. And, I believe in reincarnation, but there's no proof of that. There's no guarantee that we'll get another life. And here we are. It's weird that there's anything at all. It's weird that we're alive, and I'm glad that I get to enjoy it. I'm glad that I get to learn and grow, and I'm glad that I get to help others while I'm here.